Hey guys, my name is Hannah and I would say, let's have some fun today. So, if you are following me on Instagram, which by the way, if you don't, feel free to do that. And you know, I posted yesterday a short video with the Tom Ford palette right here. It's the new summer collection. I have my phone right here because I wanted to read you all the details if there are some. It's the new Soleil summer collection from Tom Ford, and I decided just to buy me the eyeshadow palette in Emerald Dusk. I think it's looking very, very beautiful. The only thing is, it was my mistake. I was so excited about a wet to dry formulation, and you can clearly see on the pictures that it's not the wet and dry formulation because there's no TF sign stamped into the pans, so I don't know where that came from. So I think it's a normal powder formulation, or I'm very sure it's the normal powder formulation. And within this collection there was also a changing lip oil and a golden highlighter. And here's something that says Ultra Shine Lip Colors. I don't know what that means. Oh, and new lip sticks, it seems like. The shiny lip color sticks. So this was all in the collection. And I decided just to get the palette because I love eyeshadow palettes. So this is what we are doing today. And because it's the summer collection, I also decided to go for a summery, nice, fresh look. So if you're curious about anything else on my face, it will be linked down below like always, of course. So let's open this beauty. I already looked into this one, of course, because I wanted to show it to you on my IG as well. It's coming again in a little pouch right here, and here is the summer packaging of this collection. Look how stunning it is, guys. I really love it. I won't lie to you. I need to be honest. I wished it was the wet and dry formulation because I was so excited about that. And when I opened this one, I was like, why did I thought that in the first place? But okay, I'm going with the flow. And let's open this beauty right here. It's looking like that. It's very, very glittery right away. Every color in here is not a flat matte. Everything is with a slight sheen or with many glitters in it. So I think the only shade with a slight sheen and not that many glitter particles in it is the brown at the side right here. And all the other colors are glittery. So just that you know, I will show it now to you in a close-up version. Here it is, guys. Very, very beautiful. I'm so excited about this emerald shade right here. This was the main focus, but also this very rich brown shade. I think it's looking so nice and stunning. I hope you can see the glitter particles in the pan. If not, we are doing swatches in a second, so don't worry. Okay, now let's swatch this beauty. I will go from here, to the emerald shade, to the brown shade. So let's start. We'll dig my fingers right into it. And on my pinky is the brown shade. I think they are looking very, very beautiful. Those two, there are slight difference. This is lighter for sure, and this is a little bit more with a peachy type of cast in it. But I wish that this one would be a little bit more different than the one on this finger right here, the lightest shade. But all in all, I think it's a beautiful summery type of palette. So let's quickly swatch this one. Starting with the lightest down here and going up to the brown shade. Here's the emerald one. Okay. And the brown shade. Swatches are very, very light, but we will see how they will translate onto the eyes. You can see now that this first shade is really much more lighter than the peachy shade right here. So there is a difference at the end. And the emerald shade right here, I think it's the star of the show, but it's looking a little bit more on the grayer side swatched out. So we will see how this will work. I will show it a little bit more in a close-up to you. Here you go. Very excited. We will see how this will go. So I would say if it sounds good and interesting to you, let's get started, and I will zoom you a little bit more in that you can see everything nice and close. Guys, dumb as me, I didn't press recording again. I wanted to wash my hands quickly, and here we go. I already used the brown shade right here, and told you all about my feelings. But we will play again with the brown. Don't worry, it's not the end. But yeah, it was very easy to pick it up. I did use a fluffy, denser type of blending brush, dig right into it, and it's very, very pigmented. And what I said is, it's hit or miss with his powder formulations. I really love his formulation in general, but the prices did get up really, really high. I won't lie about that. So I said I waste my money sometimes on his products, but it's very rarely that I have the feeling I did. So I will waste my money for you. Therefore are those videos, you know, that we see if the powder formulation is worth it. Because the powder formulation is hit or miss, I won't lie about that. But so far so good. What I also said is because the brown don't have that much glitter, it's very easy to pick it up. It's very easy to blend it out. It's with a slight sheen, but it's really not glittery at all. So I think it's nice that they brought it in there, because you need a shade at least that's workable with a brush, a little bit easier, you know? So I think this is the perfect formulation for that. And it's also with a slight sheen, so therefore I think it's very fitting for the summertime. So sorry that I didn't press record. I was like, what is going on? Why my camera is shutting off? And then I noticed the red light wasn't on. Okay, it was on me. I'm so sorry, but I hope you can see the brown. It's a very, very beautiful brown. Let me come even a little bit closer like that. I hope you can see the brown very nice. I think it's a very, very nice shade of brown. It's not too cool, but also not too warm. I think it's very fitting for the summertime. Like that, it's so pigmented and beautiful. You also can make it lighter, of course. I want to show you always the most. Upon first testing, I always want to show you the most of the shades, the most that they are capable of. So, of course, you always can go lighter in with your brush and do it a little bit more of a lighter, fresher type of look. But I love it. I love that I can go that bold with Tom Ford as well, you know, so I'm not mad about that. Okay, and now I will go into this emerald shade, but I think with my finger, I really feel the finger application with this one. And it's a very, very smooth and nice feeling type of shade. It's a little bit more on the glittery metallic side. It's looking so beautiful. And I will go at the front portion with this one on my lid area. When I'm applying it, it's feeling a little bit more like a satin shade, I have to say. It's feeling less like a metallic than more like a satiny type of shade. And it's also looking a little bit more satiny-like. But therefore you will get this very sophisticated type of look. I think this is what Tom Ford is all about. So I'm not mad about that. It's more like I said, it's more like an emeraldy, grayish type of shade. It's not that vibrant, so it's interesting that he decided to go for something like that for the summertime. You know, I have the feeling right now my eyes are looking very dark and smoky and sexy, so... But I love it, I love it. When the light is hitting you, the summer light, you know, I have the feeling it's a very interesting, fun type of look. I'm not against it. Didn't get fallout in that sense, but the spexes did fly a little bit to my nose area, so I just want to clean the darkness up a little bit that was created by that. But all in all, it was a very clean application. I can't say anything about that. Okay, I will go again into the green, but this time with a packing brush. And go more precise onto the front portion of my lid area. Just that I get the most focus of that emerald type of green on my actual lid area. And the rest is more like a scattered out type of look. But it's a beautiful emerald green, I have to say. It's a little bit more on the darker grayish side, like I said, but I like that. It's something a little bit more special that way, I have the feeling. And with the other side of the brush, I will again smudge everything a little bit better together. Like I said, I really want to try to use all the shades, so here we go. Now let's go into this peachy shade again with my finger. They're very, very nice and creamy feeling. So here you are again. Here's this peachy shade. It's looking very nice. And I will go into the middle portion, right where the emerald shade and the brown shade are meeting. I will put this peachy shade on, just to create a nice flow, you know, on my lid area. Going a little bit to my brow bone with this one as well. I liked it. It's created also a little bit of a flick of light in the middle portion, so it's not looking that harsh anymore. And I have to say, all the 3 shades I can imagine to use as a one and done. So this is a plus as well for Tom Ford, always for me, because I have the feeling all his colors are always so beautiful as in one and done as well. So I'm not mad about that. Now let's go with the packing type of brush again into this brown shade right here. And I will put this one at the outer portion of my lower lash line. Just a little bit right here. And connecting it to the upper lid area a little bit. Now with the same brush I will go into this emerald shade. It will be a very easy type of look because I just want to show you all the colors, guys. And I will put it at the front portion of my lower lash line. I really like that emerald shade. I want to use this one and the brown shade next time, I think, or just all over my lid as a one and done. It's very, very beautiful. And with a clean, fluffy type of brush and no product on it, I will just blend everything a little bit better out on my lower lash line, just under the actual colors. Not going directly on there, just under there to give a nicer blend overall. Now I will go into this peachy shade with my pinky and put it at the middle portion again of my lower lash line. And now let's come finally to the lightest shade in here with the inner corner type of brush. And I will put it at the inner corner. It's a beautiful light shade to lighten everything a little bit better up with it. And I will also create a little wing on the upper lid area, following my line that's already existing. Also a little bit under my brow bone. Why not? Because it's so light and beautiful. Okay guys, and I think this is all I want to do. This is all of the look. I will quickly do my lashes and my lips and then we will be right back with the zoomed out version. Okay guys, and here's the look all zoomed out. I have to say, it wasn't what I expected, because I really expected some soft, light, airy colors for the summertime. But all in all, don't get me wrong, you can do that. You can just use the peachy and the really light white shade in here and make it very soft and, yeah, light. But you also can do so smoky looks with it. Look how smoky, how smoky it got. So I'm not mad at that you can really play a little bit with it. You can also put this brown shade very, very lightly on your lid and over it a really light color, like maybe the peach shade or the white shade, and also make it a little bit more of a lighter approach for the summertime. But if you are going in there, you can do a smoky look if you want to. And I really enjoy that. I think it's also very nice for the summertime to have some bold, smoky looks, but you also can do it so soft and beautiful looking as well, you know? So I'm not mad at that. I have to say, in my opinion, this is a good powder formulation. It's very beautiful. I love that the brown isn't that shimmery like the other shades, so you can really manipulate a little bit. You can really play a little bit better with it because of that. And you can really put this one very easy on with a fluffier type of blending brush. You don't have to be afraid about that. All in all, enjoyed more than I thought. I bought it just because I thought, because I thought it was his wet and dry formulation. Because I didn't paid enough attention to the overall image that I saw in front of me. It was my fault, but it was a good mistake I made in the end, because I really enjoyed more than I thought I will. Because I have to be honest, when I thought, I was like, it's his normal powder formulation, I'm not sure. But now I'm really happy I bought it, and I think it's a beautiful palette. I did bought it, just that you know that straight away. I bought it with some points that I had, and I didn't pay the full price for this one. So that's that, just that you know. Do I would say to you that it's worth the full $90 or $95 even? I have to say no, because I never would pay for four eyeshadows around $100. Just that you know, I would always get a Tom Ford quad on a sale or on a deal, even if it's just 15 to 20% off. I think then it's okay. And I really love and enjoy his formulation. If I wouldn't have that many palettes from him. But I think 100 is a very, a little bit much for 4 eyeshadow palettes. So this is just that I wanted just to briefly touch on that. But you have to make your decision. For some people, it's worth the $100 mark. But for me personally, I love Tom Ford. And if I never would get a quad from him on a sale, I think I would buy me 2 or 3 palettes maximum and say those are the palettes I want to treasure. But, with the time today, you always can get a good deal, and therefore I have some more palettes. I also got some palettes that I wasn't sure of, and I think if I couldn't get them on a good deal, I wouldn't bought them. Just that you know. But I love my Tom Ford palettes. I love almost all of them equally, so this one is a good one. If we want to go straight to the point. It's a good palette. I'm enjoying my eye look today. Don't expect from the emerald shade though that it's vibrant and bright. It's not a bright shade. It's a very smoky, more grayish leaning type of emerald shade. Just that you know. But all in all, I'm happy with it. I have 1 or 2 palettes that are Tom Ford. I don't have every Tom Ford quad possible. I just have some Tom Ford palettes. But I have 1 or 2 where I want to compare the shades. So let's do this. Okay, those are the 2 where I had to think immediately of within some colors, And it's the Dark Opulence palette and my Lumière d'Hiver palette right here. So let's do this quickly. Let's start with the Dark Opulence palette first. And they are both the powder formulation as well. So yeah. Here I wanted briefly to compare this shade right here. It's also like an emeraldy bluish type of shade with the emerald shade from the newer Emerald Dusk palette right here. So let's do this. On this finger right here, I will put the emerald shade from the Emerald Dusk palette on. And on my middle finger, I will put the emerald shade from the Dark Opulence palette on. Immediately very different, I have to say. The Dark Opulence one is much more vibrant, much more there and stronger. And the one from the Emerald Dusk palette is much more lighter and a little bit more of a glittery type of shade. But let's swatch them anyways. Yeah, they are different, totally. But they have the same type of undertone, I have the feeling. They are both with a grayish type of undertone, but in terms of formulation, they are very different. The Dark Opulence palette is much more darker. It's much more of a drier type of formulation. And the one from the Emerald Dusk palette is a little bit more lighter, a little bit more glittery. And it's much more of a satiny type of feel that you will get with this one. So there you go. And now let's compare the Lumière d'Hiver palette. I wanna especially compare this very light shade down here with the very light shade up here from the new Emerald Dusk palette. So let's do this again. On this finger right here, I will go into the Emerald Dusk shade, the light one right here. And with the finger in the middle, I will go into the light shade down here from the Meine Bewertungen palette. I can see now a little bit the summery approach because the shade from the Emerald Dusk palette is much more lighter, much more thinner in texture overall, and the shade from the Meine Bewertungen palette is much stronger, much more there. I love this shade, by the way, from the Meine Bewertungen palette. It's my favorite one in the quad. And yeah, there you can see it. They are not the same, but let's swatch them anyways, because why not? There you see it again. The shade from the Emerald Dusk palette is right here, and the shade from the Meine Bewertungen palette is right here. Again, stronger, more there, lighter area. So now I can see a little bit more the reference, the summer reference, if you know what I mean. So you have to make your decision if it's something that's worth for you. And the Meine Bewertungen palette was a winter palette, a Soleil winter palette, and the Emerald Dusk palette is the summer palette, the Soleil summer palette. And you can also see the difference in the tones right here. The summer palettes, I think, always have a gold detail, and the winter palettes always have this silvery type of detail. I think. I'm not an expert in Tom Ford, but I have now some palettes in my collection, so I think this is the difference, but don't quote me on that. And yeah, guys, there you go. There you have all my thoughts about this palette. In comparison, it was much more lighter than the other ones that I have, so I don't have something similar from Tom Ford in my collection, so I'm very happy about that. And I have to say, even though it's in the swatches looking very light and not very present for some people, on the eyes it's translating very beautiful, I have to say. So don't let the swatches fool you. Just wanna say it like that, because I think on the eyes it's giving a beautiful effect in the end. This is all I want to say, but this was all I wanted to touch on today with this palette. It won't be the last time you will see it on my channel, of course. And if you like this kind of content, guys, especially Tom Ford content, I would be really happy if you give me a thumbs up, that I know that you like this kind of content. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click on the little bell to get notifications here and there when I'm posting something new. And with that being said, guys, I hope you had fun. I hope I gave you a little bit inspiration, and I made your decision a little bit easier on whether or not to get the Tom Ford quad. So think about you in the summertime, think about this color story if it's something for you, and then make your decision. And with that being said, guys, I hope you had fun. I had so much fun again to play with makeup like always, and I would say we will see each other in my next video. Until then, guys, bye.